Some news out concerning Greg Newsome. Always some interesting stuff. So Greg Newsome has switched agents back to Drew Rosenhaus. Adam Schefter tweets this out. Amid speculation that his client Greg Newsome wants to be traded, agent Drew Rosenhaus met today in Cleveland with the Browns to discuss Newsome's future role there. Greg is happy to be with the Browns. Rosenhaus said everything was positive. Greg is happy with his role and playing for new defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. Some teammates getting involved as well. Juan Thornhill, new safety. My dog Greg Newsome ain't going nowhere, not on my watch. Newsome replies, "We are here for the long haul, family." Let's welcome in Scott Petrak, Browns beat reporter for the Elyria Chronicle-Telegram as well as BrownsZone.com. Scott, Greg Newsome didn't come out and say he wants to trade, but you don't switch from Drew Rosenhaus to Clutch Sports back to Drew Rosenhaus, given that you're playing a position you've come out and said you don't really like playing if everything is going great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, Dave. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up for Greg, right? Whether it's he's not entirely happy with his role with the Browns. He's entering his third year, so after that, he could start long-term contract extension talks. At some point, the Browns would have to decide whether to guarantee the fifth-year option on his rookie deal if they haven't agreed to a long-term deal. So, I think there's a lot going on there. But Greg came out on Twitter, you just showed it, and Drew Rosenhaus got back to me right away this morning, and I asked him if he'd requested a trade, and he said no. I met with Andrew Bayer today, and Greg is in a good place with the team, happy to be with the Browns. So, either Greg has had positive meetings with Jim Schwartz or Rosenhaus has had positive meetings with the Browns, or they just realized that they don't have any leverage, and the best idea is to say you're happy and then address things at a later date.
Yeah, either way, there's not much they can do this year or really next year. That Drew Rosenhaus has a history of finding a way to get what he wants for his players, as is an agent's job.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the super agents in the game, but it doesn't always happen. I know there's been other times where Drew wanted his guys out of Cleveland, and it hasn't happened, right? We know, I'm not saying David Njoku or Kareem Hunt were his guys, because they weren't, but we've seen the Browns hold firm on not trading guys that were unhappy and actually requested trades. And Drew's got a good relationship with the Browns. I mean, he's, for everything an agent is, I think he's well respected across the league. So, I think Greg probably feels like Drew can help him long term, and whether or not that's getting out of Cleveland, it sure doesn't feel like that right now.
And you know what? Let's say this. You certainly understand Greg Newsome's point of view. Slot corners get paid a whole lot less than guys on the outside.
Yeah, and I think you get beat up inside more. I mean, it's a tougher position to play. It's certainly not, right, the moneymaker that the outside guys are. And Greg was, I don't even know if in a tough spot, but certainly an unusual and a difficult situation. He starts outside, which is a premier position, and then you go inside. It's tough. It's different technique outside and inside. He said at the beginning of the year he was excited to do it, and I think doing it for the whole season took a toll. I think he wants a little bit more stability, whether that's, hey, I'm going to play all on the outside or maybe follow a guy, right? So if that guy's on the outside on first down and moves inside on third down, I go with him. Something where it's not just, okay, it's three wides, I'm inside, I'm taking a beating. You're almost like playing a mini linebacker. It's a tough spot to be in for a guy that's not that big.